Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Otaku Oasis podcast. My name is Matthew, and I'm here with.
Joshua, and we are back covering My Hero Academia. We are
Finally, took
this,
a long hiatus after we messed up the first time recording this episode, and
yeah, yeah. Also, I think I mentioned to you that I had made a thumbnail. No, I had an idea for a thumbnail.
oh,
I
we didn't
never
even.
created the thumbnail
What did we
for
use
it.
as our background for the recording?
We didn't, because
We
I was the
didn't.
one recording it.
That was before we started using our current recording software. That's right.
Yep, yeah, no, and it was also when the audio got corrupted. So
And we
I was
already
like,
didn't like. Well, yeah, I remember not being thrilled with how that recording session turned out.
yeah, no, like the audio and ending up being corrupted is kind of a blessing in disguise with that episode.
Yeah, I just remember what it was. It was because we didn't talk about the movie like at all, right? We just kind of
We,
spark notes
we
it to the extreme.
Yeah, yeah, we really, really glossed over it.
Speaking of movie, let me pull up a synopsis.
Yeah, so just to cover what we're covering today, we are covering the final exams arc, which covers episodes 34 through 38, and chapters 60 through 69, as well as covering the movie and its tie-in episode, which was episode 58. You said?
I believe so. Let me double check that. It was season three, episode 58.
Okay, so yes, I was right.
I still, to this day, don't know how I got these seasons screwed up so bad. So in my mind, season one, ended with the USJ arc, and then for some reason I thought season three started with Stain and ended with the One for All for One fight, and then I thought season four started with the whatever the back half of what season three was um
the
the licensing exam.
license exam?
Yeah, for some reason I thought that was what kicked off season four. I have no clue why. I still get that mixed up to even now. I like every time I look at the or episode or see like the season orders, I'm like that can't be right.
To be fair, when season 2 was actually coming out, like as it was airing week to week,
Mm-hmm.
as I had read the manga up to that point, I was like, okay, so I can I try to predict like where the season is gonna end and whatnot. I thought season 2 was gonna end on Stain, but no, they went all the way through the final
You
exams,
would
and I'm like,
think like I think the reason I think that is because season one ended with such a big battle at the USJ that you would think season three or wherever the One for All fight ended, that would be the end of the season because it's such a big fight that really changes the show.
yeah, no, it's like, yeah, no, it's like my thoughts were basically, you do the Stain stuff, like kind of expand on it maybe a little bit, and make it so like that impact at the end that Stain has is kind of greater. To which I feel like the anime kind of dilutes it. I don't think I mentioned this, but like due to just how short Stain is around, like you don't like compared to like the manga, which had like I think it was like about like 4 to 5 months in manga terms
Yeah,
compared to like 3 weeks.
yeah,
Like I'm
that
like
that is true.
yeah,
But
but that's I mean, hey, it's how it happened. I mean, at least it's not the season 5 atrocity. So
yeah, oh. Like as much as I like the show, I do recognize from a technical turn they have been dropping the ball recently.
yeah,
Season
I'm
four,
like
cough cough.
season 4. We'll get to it when we get to the overhaul arc, but I'm like kind of botched some scenes there. Um,
I'm hoping they take their time with season six because it really needs it.
yeah, no, I since we don't have any movie announcements, thank the Lord. Um, or any other ideologies you want to prescribe to, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I just,
How many origin episodes do we have?
uh, really,
One.
there's only the three.
Oh,
There's
actually,
the,
there's two in season five.
oh yeah, I forget that the villains have those as
No,
well.
I meant like episodes that are titled Origin.
Yeah, no,
There's
no, I
two in
know.
season five. Uh,
I know we'll get one in season 6.
Oh, is there? Which one would that be?
It's particular to a certain rival character.
All right, we're gonna put a pin in that because we remember all spoilers are saved to the end. But let's be honest, we're both gonna forget we talked about this.
Well, I
Number
mean,
three,
it's only the chapter title.
four.
I'm not talking about what's in it.
Yeah. All right. There's five. There's 5 episodes currently out with Origin. Uh, I mean, there's Yayirosa's got one called Yayirosa Rising in this one. It's in the same vein,
Yeah,
but it's
I'm like I consider that one practically,
yeah. So there's 6. I'm
but like
surprised Shigaraki got 2 in season 5.
it's it's probably just because Shigaraki Shigaraki has like a very long flashback that we'll get into later, but
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I really like the dichotomy of the first episode is one name and the second episode is another name. I like it. It works.
mhm, yeah, just not gonna delve too much deeper into it
No,
than that
we'll cover
here.
it when we cover it.
Yeah.
All right.
See, see, I don't think it's considered spoilers unless we could delve deep into it, so we should be fine if it's just
Yeah.
base level.
Also, it's already out.
Yeah.
Not really a spoiler. It's already been out.
Yeah. I don't really think like just chapter titles are necessarily spoilers,
No.
but
I mean, some
I
of
mean,
them
other
are. I
than
mean, there are some that are like.
oh yeah, but I just more of mean by like in the sense of like at least talking about the origin chapters. I mean, other than probably something pivotal is gonna be for that
Actually,
character,
the
but
first one in season 5 is a definite spoiler.
oh well. I haven't looked at the season 5 episode
It
name, so
is.
I do not remember.
Here, I'll just.
Don't
I'm not gonna say it. I'm
yeah,
gonna
just
send it to you, and you can see what I mean
yeah,
by
just
yeah.
send
That
it.
that is a spoiler.
Yeah, I was like,
That's a spoiler.
oh yeah, oh yeah, for
That
sure.
that is kind of the big twist of for a while.
Yeah, I think I mean, because I think that's like the start of the flashback in that arc.
I believe it is.
But because I mean, like it's pretty much like it's basically once you read the like because I think the chapter title is of the same thing. Like you know what's going on
Yeah,
basically. I think it's been stated before.
I
It's
believe
just
it's
like
stated in sometime. I want to say episode 50, beginning of the end, end of the beginning, beginning of the end.
yeah, I'm like yeah, it's like somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure it's a known fact. We just didn't know the name.
I am looking forward to. Well, it is a known fact, unless you're watching the show with us, which I'm sorry, we took several months off. Um, but yeah,
To be fair, I tried to keep it as vague as possible.
I
So
tried not to say it either.
yeah.
All right,
Um,
but moving into
but yeah, getting
non-spoilery
it.
territory and back to the focus of this episode, we are covering.
Yeah, getting back to it. So what are your thoughts on the final exams arc?
As per, I mean, my thoughts haven't changed that much from last time. I really do not like how the finals exams were handled. Um, I mean, in general, it's fine. It just the last one. I don't think. All right, I guess we'll get into it. My question: do you think All Might fought Class 1B, or was Class 1A special when they had to fight All Might?
I'm thinking that was a class 1A thing.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
fair.
Okay, but they are technically supposed to be the top hero candidates, so
Yes, but
I mean, no, no, no. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. You shouldn't be increasing your curriculum
I
technically to
not.
match
It's not even
anyone,
that they're
but
getting put on a pedestal. I really think All Might should have been swapped out for Blood King. Like in a logical sense, All Might never would have been in that fight. He's just too strong, even with the weights on him. He's just too strong. You throw
yeah.
anyone besides Midoriya and Bakugo in that fight, it's a loss. I'm sorry.
For the thumbnail, until I remembered that I needed to represent the movie, I was very close to putting a picture of All Might just bashing in Deku and Bakugo.
I was gonna say, please tell me you're gonna use the picture of Bakugo just shattering, or not Bakugo, All Might shattering Midoriya's spine with his butt.
I couldn't quite find that picture, but
Oh,
I
that
found one where it was pretty close.
that scene alone grinds my gears. Like that is ridiculous.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I share kind of similar sentiments. Like just thinking back on this arc, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. There are moments of it that I like. I
Oh,
definitely really
absolutely.
love the Yaoyorozu and Todoroki versus Eraserhead match,
It's brilliant.
and
Like that is one of my favorite scenes.
and even a character like Mineta, who I'm not too big of a fan of as a whole, I think had a really good time to shine with his fight against Midnight.
Yeah, I really love how Minetta's. I mean, Mineta is still not a cool character, not a character that I enjoy. I don't like him. I want to make that very obvious. But I like seeing how he's slowly starting to evolve from this swiveling little pathetic grape that he was in season one to still not a good person, but is now in it for the right reasons. Somewhat. I mean, he still wants to help people. He wants to help people now instead of just being cool. Sure, he wants to be cool still, but now he
Mm-hmm.
actually wants to
Yeah.
help people and be like Midoriya. Which I also really
Also,
find it hilarious how much Mineta actually looks up to Midoriya.
mhm. Yeah, no, I also I just always, and maybe it's just because I watched like a few like because as I was reading through it, I was like basically reading through it with like another YouTuber who was reading through it at the time.
Hmm.
And just the line, the boobs will wait another day. I just always find really funny.
I also really love when they're showing the class rankings. Mineta's pretty high up there. I don't remember exactly what number, but I want to say he's definitely above 10. I think he's like 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. And then Kaminari makes a joke. Is like, um, your weird personality is only lovable when you're stupid. It's just weird when you're smart.
Yeah, it was because it was for like the final exams that they're studying at the beginning,
Yeah.
which like I don't have too much more to comment than that. Just it's kind of funny to see like how some of like what you would consider like to be some of the weaker characters are actually still fairly smart.
Oh, I mean, and going on that, I actually want to playing off of that. I had a thought while I was watching this that I've seen a lot of I've only seen talked about very minimally. Like as much as we like to joke that Mina and Kaminari are idiots, they really can't be. Like think about it. This is the top hero school in the nation. You have to have some intelligence to be here. Like sure, they may not be
Oh yeah,
book smart, but they're still not idiots.
oh yeah. No, they probably. I mean, this is also just because it like I don't fully know, but from like my understanding of the Japanese school system, it is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Um, so like them being at that top school is by no means like a joke. They definitely have at least above average like
Oh
intelligence.
yeah. I also wonder if Kaminari's quirk affects his like brain. Like, obviously it affects his brain, but like how long term those effects are. Because like
Uh,
constantly shorting out like that cannot be healthy in the long term.
yeah, I forget what it is. I think there's like an explanation that he talks about a bit later on, so I won't delve into it now, but
Yeah.
I feel like there was. I just cannot remember for the life of me right now, which is honestly probably for the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other notable matchups.
I mean, there is like I have like basically all the matches written down
Yeah, it
here, and
was
I'm like
cur-
Tsuyu and Tokoyami versus Ectoplasm.
that was an interesting one.
Not
I
really.
like. I mean, it's not that it doesn't
I
do
mean, it's
much. It's just interesting to see.
yeah, I don't know. It's like a fun team up, but I'm like I don't have much more to comment about it than it was a
Kirishima
cool
and
team up,
Sato
and
losing
I
against
really like both those characters.
yeah,
So you know.
Kirishima and Sato losing against Cementos. That makes sense.
Mhm.
That was just a bad matchup for them.
Oh yeah, no, a horrible matchup.
Like I don't
What
see
was
a way of any of them winning.
Hoda and Jiro's match? That one was another one.
Yeah,
Like one of the
that was a good one.
where Koda gets kind of some development.
Yeah,
Like he
I
has to kind
love
of overcome his fear.
I love when he talks to the bugs. Jiro's like, "You can talk."
Yeah, he just speaks very quietly. Is his thing.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching this, my ears were starting to hurt from how loud they had present mic. That was just annoying to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Present Mike is like one of those characters I feel like you either like really like or really
Oh,
hate.
I love him as
I don't
I
feel,
love him as the narrator of the show. I just don't like it in him in this fight specifically because it's just loud and annoying.
I just feel like some people can feel that way the entire
Oh
time.
yeah, I can see that.
Especially once we get into later seasons where he announces every single quirk
I mean, he's
over
already
and
doing
over
that. Yeah, but yeah.
and over. I know. But it gets like really bad in season 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, but like in the show's defense, you don't really see a lot of these characters pretty often. It's kind of some of them don't really have the most memorable powers.
No, and it's more also for the fact that they want to like it's not only padding, but it's also a good reminder to the audience like every year,
Yeah,
especially like for the 1A quirks. I'm like I don't need to hear the 1A quirks
yeah,
over and
but
over
like
again, but
I also recognize that I
I get
don't
it.
always remember what Sato does. Like I just kind of know he's
I
there.
do.
He's the
But
food guy. That's pretty much what I remember him by. And then
I do, but I'm not like most in that I think I've memorized at least what every single one of like class 1A's quirks do.
oh yeah, I know most of them. Class 1B. I don't even know their names.
Yeah, no, I'm like
In my defense,
don't
we
even bother me.
we barely even see them once a season.
Yeah, I'm like the only one I can remember off the top of my head is
Monoma.
Kendo, and
Oh
then
yeah, I guess yeah. Mine's
I was gonna say
Monoma.
Monoma as well, but Kendo. I don't know. Maybe it's just because she's always with him and knocks him out because she
Yeah,
plays the straight man to him.
yeah, that's true. Though, I did actually comment on this when I was watching it, and you never really said anything, so I wanted to get your opinion on it. Uh, Monoma straight up predicts. Oh wait, hold on.
Maybe save that for the spoiler section at the end.
Yes, yes. Let me save it. I'm glad I caught myself halfway through that sentence.
Yeah, I was like, I was forgetting, but then once you said Monoma per day, I was like, oh wait, yep, nope, you're right, yep, no, let's move.
Let's move it on. Yeah. Anyways, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that towards the end.
All right. So then we had Uraka and Aoyama versus 13.
hmm Which that one also doesn't have too much other than the Uraraka like kind of love thing with Deku, which is
Yeah.
like nothing wrong with that, and I do like that it is progressing.
Oh yeah.
But
I just love how she
just
goes
not much
from
else happens.
I really like how she goes from a blushing mess to just the straight face takes 13 down.
Yeah, no, it is pretty funny though. It leads to a pretty good comedic payoff.
Oh yeah. Um, I was gonna talk about Ayama, and then I realized save that for later.
Yeah.
All right, and then what else? All right, so then we also had Kaminari and Mina versus uh Nezu, which we learned some of Nezu's backstory.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which
I didn't write that down just because I don't know. I
they
just don't think I cared for that match too much. But
the
like,
match isn't really that interesting. It's just getting to know a little more about Nezu and his backstory is kind of interesting.
yeah, it is. It's what it's confirmed that he's a mouse that has like a human quirk,
He's an
basically.
animal that has a human quirk, and he was tested on by humans until he finally was able to get out.
Yeah,
And then now he has a vindictive side, and he uses it against his students whenever he gets a chance.
I forget. Is this the battle where we get like that meme of him just drinking the coffee crazily?
Yes, and he's in the crane destroying the whole cityscape. Yeah.
I just, if there's one thing I remember it for, it's for that coffee drinking meme because that is just too funny.
That is really hilarious. All right, and then we have.
The two headliners.
Well, actually, we're still missing one. All right, I guess we
We
can
are.
talk about Mineta and Sero. Uh,
Really, it's just Mineta versus Midnight though.
yeah, that is true. And Mineta versus Midnight. I feel like I'm missing. Oh yeah, Ida and Ojiro versus Front Loader. Or that's not his name. Power Loader.
Do we even see a lot of? Oh gosh,
We do. We I
it's
mean
been so long,
we
but
see a
like,
little bit of it. It's not much. It's like maybe a minute, if
yeah,
that.
I don't think I wrote it down just because I honestly, it was like when I was reading it in the manga, it is literally just one panel, and we never see it again.
Yeah, I mean, what happens in it is
I do have to say, at least like the anime is nice and like that it expands out some of these like smaller minor
that
fights.
is kind of why I enjoy watching and watching it versus reading it is because sometimes it goes a little more in depth with smaller stuff. And but there is
Oh
a
yeah,
point
no,
where
no,
it's too
it's
much. One Piece.
oh well, yeah, later One Piece for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you that. The anime, though, there are definitely some good moments in there.
Oh
Just
yeah.
you have to sort through a lot of trash in between.
Yeah.
I will not deny that.
And then
Even though the current arc in One Piece is animated a lot better than,
oh, it
let's
may
just say
look pretty.
early 2010s.
Yeah.
Gosh, okay, hold on. I need to send you what early 2010 One Piece
I mean, is it
um
animated better as in they cut filler out more, or animated better as in it looks prettier?
looks prettier.
Ah, cool. So it's still just as bad filler wise.
Yeah, no, it's just as bad. Although I don't think we have. It's not as bad as one of the arcs in later One Piece where they've decided to repeat a flashback 48 times.
No. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it gets pretty bad late One Piece anime, and I won't even deny that.
That is fair. Oh, did you send me the
Uh,
thing?
no, no, not yet. I'm still trying to find it. There is like this one notable one where it's just like, my God, what did you do? Oh, I think I know exactly what to look up.
Well, while we're sitting here, so I know we're planning on doing the Dragon Ball movies again. You maybe want to do the Pokemon movies without context and just go through those again because I've been meaning to rewatch those.
I'd be down.
Cool. Yeah, the only reason I brought it up is because I was thinking because I went to an antique store today and bought Totodile and Poplio plushes so I can continue my goal of obtaining all of the water starters, base forms, and plush. I think all I'm missing now is Mudkip and Froakie.
Nice. Gosh, where is? I can't find
Hello?
it, but like,
Oh,
hello.
why can I not hear anything anymore? Ah,
That's a problem.
I deafened my headset. What did you say?
Oh, nothing. I was just like, I couldn't find anything.
Ah,
There
well,
are definitely screenshots that exist out there for it. I just could not find them based
that
off of my searches.
that is fair. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna spend any more time trying to look for it.
Cool.
So
All right. So back to where. All right. So we now got to talk about the headline fight. Which one do you want? Which one do you want to make our main headline fight? Oh, I have. You know what? I have much more to say about Bakugo Deku fight.
okay, I'm more have well, I'm more like the Yaoyorozu and
Oh,
Todoroki
I
one.
think the
So
Yaoyorozu and Todoroki fight is better. I have complaints about the Midoriya Bakugo fight.
then why don't we start with that one?
Oh boy, let's. Alright, so, first of all, I like how nothing comes out of Bakugo actually assaulting Midoriya without prompting. I mean, just. Grind actually annoys me how hand laissez faire they are with their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, especially where we are now, how could any sane adult look at those two and say, ah, yeah, those two are rivals?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like anime sometimes takes things to the extremes,
Uh,
and those extremes aren't exactly healthy sometimes.
no, like,
And in this case, it's very not healthy.
no. I don't get how bad they misunderstand that relationship. But that aside, you have.
I don't know, it still astonishes me how Bakugo ends up like #1 on all those character popularity polls
I
every
don't
single
get
time.
it! Like, I guess everyone really just does love a bad boy. I don't get it. He has the
Yeah, I
personality of a dumpster fire.
at this point, yeah.
Um, all right. So beyond the fact that Midoriya or Bakugo punches Midoriya with no repercussions before the match even starts. Whatever. Um, you have the two most volatile students up against the number one hero who can destroy the city with a punch, even with the supposedly super heavy weights on.
Yeah, and like, even though All Might's powers are regressing at this point, he still has
They make a
access to
point to
quite
say
a lot of it.
he stands in the middle of the city and throws the punch, and the back blast of that punch still destroyed the half of the city he's behind. That is behind him. What?
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh. And then halfway through the fight, while Midori is still trying to run, All Might picks up some railing off the street and pins Midoriya to the ground. If he's half an inch off on that, he would have just impaled Midoriya with that railing he trapped him with.
Hmm.
What? Come on. And then not only do you have the spine shattering um back attack All Might does on Midoriya, which Recovery Girl states that she almost couldn't heal fully. I mean, All Might blatantly just destroys those probably several $100,000 gauntlets that Bakugo was using, because those couldn't have been cheap.
Oh yeah, no, I never like really take into thought, but yeah, like why the heck do they destroy hero equipment? That's probably really costly.
Yeah, and then they All Might's mocking Midoriya for trying to escape a fight that, in all actuality, they shouldn't have been in. Like, any sane person would immediately run tail. Like, why are you praising Bakugo for trying to go into a suicide fight against a villain that they had no chance of beating, and and make fun of the kid who's rational and is trying to escape the situation, which I'll remind you is the point of the final. That is a valid way to end the final, is to escape.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how Mineta wins.
Yeah, that's how Mineta wins. That's how Ojiro wins. That's how like half of them. What?
Hmm.
Uh, I think All Might has no place in being as being a teacher. Like,
I do get like it's meant to be like more of like the symbolic thing and whatnot because it's like Deku versus his teacher with his rival and
yeah, but
whatnot, but
like
it's like
none of
yeah,
the
no,
other
like
teachers were taunting them for trying to escape.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's I feel like that might have just been part of All Might's acting, but
Uh, I don't know. And then you have Bakugo nearly destroying his arms to win the fight. Like that, I don't know what it's doing to him, but that does not look good for him when he's doing the super blast without his gauntlets.
yeah, yeah, no, it's why he like needs those gauntlets because it's like trying to project like the glycerin
Yeah.
sweat from his hands on his own is not healthy for his
Oh.
hands, obviously.
Though in this fight's defense, I really, really like the scene of when they finally team up and they leave the alley together. Bakugo explodes All Might in the face to distract him, and then Midoriya comes from behind and pulls the pin out of the second gauntlet that he's wearing. Like that was a cool scene. I will give that fight credit. That was really cool seeing Midoriya and Bakugo team up and Midoriya using Bakugo's gauntlet.
Okay, I was gonna mention that too because I'm like I really like that moment as
I
well. But
really like
yeah,
that.
the rest of that fight, no.
Like that fight could have gotten the school sued into the ground.
Oh yeah, for sure. If it wasn't probably something that they didn't already sign off on, but
Ah, honestly. What? I think that's all I've really got. I mean, and then All Might punches Bakugo so hard he actually like throws up, and that throw up is on his face for the rest of that fight. That is grody.
yeah, yeah, I don't think it's like nearly as bad in like the manga, but that's just because you're able to go through it a lot quicker if you're a
Yeah.
quick reader like me. So I'm just like, okay, next page, next page, next page.
Yeah, like I love there's the trope of getting hit in the stomach and they shoot out spit. That's fine. That's whatever. But vomit, ugh, yeah, grody.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, maybe it was like a censorship. I don't know if it was a censorship thing or not, because I forget where My Hero's like time slot ends up in Japan, but uh, it may have also been potentially a replacement for Blood.
I
Uh,
honestly think it was. That would make a lot of sense to me, cause like he hit them hard.
Because I know for Dragon Ball and One Piece, they will replace a lot of blood being spit up with just the like white spit that you see a
Yeah,
lot.
I I think All Might needs to learn restraint.
Yeah,
I honestly think that's the
yeah, no
biggest issue
kidding.
with this All Might is like even from the beginning. Like the Midoriya's issue was that he was always trying to run at 100 the entire time, and then as soon as someone says, "Hey, maybe try not doing that," he immediately stops breaking his arms.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like, if we want to be honest, All Might is to blame for like 99% of this show's issues. At least with the main plot, like it's it's on him for not double checking the body to make sure All for One was dead. He passed. It was his fault for having society so tied to the symbol of peace that let me watch my words. Um,
yeah, no, it's
I mean, at this point, it's already stated that society is too tied to the fact that the symbol of peace exists.
and also I feel like he had to have known about a bit of let's just say One for All's inherent stockpiling
Yeah,
abilities,
and
but
then Stain exists because he was so hyper focused on All Might that he
mhm.
started killing people, and then I'm guessing he took All Might's rise to power as a challenge, and then also tried getting the fame of All Might, which led to we can talk about it because in the season, Dabi and Toga joining the League of Villains.
Yeah, that was actually last season,
Nah,
but yeah.
it's the end of the season.
Really?
Yeah, we see
Oh
that
yeah,
they're
no, right. We're still in season 2. I
yeah.
thought we
Not
were.
only are we still in season 2, they were introduced in the last arc as like a
Yeah,
little
no, it's
teaser for what happens next, but they aren't really shown until the
yeah,
next.
because the mall chat it was what bookends this arc.
Yep, the mall bookends this arc. So we meet Dabi and Toga, and then they're joining the league because they want to upend Stain's beliefs. That's on All Might. Um, All Might doesn't understand how the power works and can't
I
understand.
think it was more Dobby was like specifically inspired by Steen, if I remember
Toga mentions
correctly.
wanting to. Toga mentions Stain and how she loves Stain and wants to kill
Okay,
him.
I just
Yeah.
always thought it was like to a bit of a lesser extent
Oh, it's to a
compared to
lesser
like
extent extreme. I also
Dobby's
think
first
Dobby's
mention of it.
lying through his teeth
Oh
about.
well, yeah. I mean,
I think we
not
both know what Dobby's real intention was.
yeah. We're not gonna
No,
mention that unless
at
we
least
want to
not
get
here.
it. At least not until the spoiler section
It,
either. But
yeah, that's what I meant. At least not in the spoiler section, but until the spoiler section. But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and then
there's only really one, and that's what's his name? The one that basically just cosplays as Stain.
oh, I mean he's not here yet. We can't talk about him.
Oh, is he not?
Not yet.
I thought he was there as well.
The only two we meet are Dobby and Toga.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are in the next season. I mean, they're in the next. They're
Okay,
immediately
sorry. That
introduced in
that
the next arc. But yeah,
yeah, I'm like sorry, my mistake.
you're good.
It's probably just because the like way I remember it, because the way I read it, it's like I basically went right into the next arc immediately.
Yeah, no, that
So
makes sense. So yeah, like
since they're like there right at the beginning.
yeah, it's a mess. And then yeah,
To be
I,
fair, he is a pretty minor character, but
yeah, that's
regardless.
true. I just come on, All Might, get your act together.
Yeah.
And All Might isn't even remorseful for nearly doing irreversible damage to Midoriya's spine. He just kind of laughs it off.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Like, you quite literally jeopardized your entire mission over
Like
a
I
final
get I get
exam.
I get it's part of like the role that he's technically supposed to play, but
But, like,
I
to
mean,
not
there's
even
a
feel
line. There's a
apologetic
line.
after the fact is quite frankly, disheartening and terrifying to see how callous he is to his own student mentor, someone he probably looks close to as a son. Because, like, think about it, they're the only two those people like all they have is each other in this messed up situation going on.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, I get like that you aren't supposed to technically view him as like the perfect like thing,
I
because
get
that's kind of
he's
the
meant
point.
to be
But
the flawed protagonist, but, like, come on, at least feel remorse. Ugh. All right, let's get on to the good fight of
regardless,
this arc.
yeah, the fight that actually matters.
Well, no, this fight act kind of matters. It is another big step in Midoriya and Bakugo's path.
No, I know. Just I just mean by like the one that actually has meaningful
Actually, I just
implications in
remembered
the
something
now.
about Monoma that I can talk about. Monoma's the worst. I think this is the worst Monoma's ever been and is. 'Cause, like, he callously makes fun of Midoriya, Ida, and Todoroki for the Stain incident, knowing full well what Stain did to Ida. Like, have a heart, my guy. Like, I know you are so self-conscious about yourself and your image, but, like, read the room.
Yeah, I don't think he can do that though. That's not one of his abilities.
Maybe he needs to
He's
find
only
someone
good
who.
at copying the room.
I was about to say, maybe he needs to find someone who has the ability to read the room.
Yeah, I'm like he's only good at copying the room.
I don't. That boy, that boy has some trauma. Let me tell you what. There's gotta be some trauma in Monoma's backstory, because, like, not everyone just acts like that. There's gotta be a reason for it.
I forget if that's expanded or not.
Like, the way I would view it, I imagine Monoma's quirk is viewed on kind of lesser because of how villainistic it can be.
Yeah, I'm like I was thinking along that lines, like along with Shinzo's quirk and whatnot.
Yeah, and if we're gonna be honest, I there's no way that Aizawa didn't also face the same thing. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, think about it. A
Like
quirk
the,
that can erase other quirks, he was probably beaten up on the daily.
I mean, if he wasn't like high on the hierarchy, that is, yeah.
Oh no, I would imagine he would be the lowest tier. Everyone was probably terrified of him as a child.
Oh, probably, yeah. As a child, yeah.
Yeah, I. Anyway, um,
Except for probably the select few who actually saw through that. But
oh yeah, I
I
also
think
think
of
it is. I
two
also
good examples,
love
but
the
not gonna
hypocrisy.
mention them.
I love the hypocrisy of Aizawa in his viewing of Midoriya, because, like, Aizawa fights quirkless pretty much always, but gives Midoriya shit for needing to do it until he can master his quirk, which he doesn't know the story. He doesn't know what's going on there, and he makes an impartial judgment, which is something that seems kind of very out of character for Aizawa. He seems like the person who would
Well, I mean,
not do that.
I don't know.
I also think that's the point, is that it's supposed
It's
to be
kind of a
different.
weird. It's kind of a weird situation because like technically most of the kids there should
Yeah,
like know at least kind of basic like it's so Midori is like kind of really the exception.
I also wonder if it has something to do with the fact that Midoriya has the flashy perfect quirk, and that Aizawa has some, like, internal, not like hatred, but, like, doesn't like it internally because it was probably similar to the quirks of the people who, if he was treated poorly as a child, who treated him bad. Because, like, Midoriya, in all honesty, should be top of the ranking with a quirk that strong, and yet
Mm-hmm.
in Aizawa's eyes, probably never bothered to learn how to use it.
Yeah, no,
But,
I
like,
mean,
even after Midoriya proved himself, Aizawa still, like, I don't know. It feels like Aizawa still kind of gives him shit for it, which I don't know. I think the relationship is kind of weird. I also wonder if it has something to do with All Might being so tied to Midoriya.
I feel like that must play a part as well.
Yeah, I think it's actually. I don't know if it's been outright stated, but I think it has been hinted to that Aizawa has some sort of resentment towards it. I don't know. But anyways, back to the fight.
I don't
Um,
know if that's expanded in Vigilantes or not, because I know he's like
the main character of
kind of.
Vigilantes.
Well, he's not the. I don't think he's the main character, but he does play a pivotal role, I
Yeah, I still
believe.
need to read. We should cover Vigilantes at some point. I do want to read
Yeah,
it.
no, that's the plan. We just need to catch up
Is Vigilantes
on
over?
this first. Don't think so, but let me check.
Yes, it ended
Yeah, it
in
ended
June.
earlier this year.
Yeah, cool. Wow, that ended quickly. What? I mean, not
Six
quickly.
years is
Recently.
not
No, no,
that
no. I
quickly.
meant recently. Recently. I thought it
Yeah, no,
ended a
no.
while ago. Sorry. What I was referring to is that something I had read had come out. Must have come out really quick into it. Because like I've read a bunch of stuff that uses the characters from Vigilantes.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So fight. Um.
Yeah, at least Vigilantes is over. I was like, I wanted to read it, but I was just kind of waiting for it to finish.
That
So,
is entirely fair. All right. So fight. I don't think there's a lot of cons with this fight. Everything in this fight is done in character and makes sense for the characters.
oh yeah, no, and it's also great for character development as well,
Yeah, I think
specifically for Yagurozo.
the one thing I
But
would
also in
say
a way,
against this fight is Todoroki being not listening to Yaoyorozu at the start, but it also makes sense. Like Todoroki's always kind of just gone with the
well, and
flow, and
also it, well, also he says like he always had confidence in Yagurozo's abilities.
yeah,
So
um, yeah, I think this fight is probably one of the better ones we've had so far. It uses
you
the
know,
characters'
so like,
skills to their best.
while I'm not too into shipping, that is definitely like my top ship for this
Honestly,
show.
don't blame you. It's a pretty good one. I can see it. I definitely do see it. Um, I do really love the scene where when Yaoyorozu runs away and Aizawa just immediately ties up Todoroki. He's like, Todoroki's like, I'll just Burmo it. And I was like, yeah, fine, do whatever you're gonna want. Just watch out for these spikes.
Yeah.
And then Todoroki just calls him a off-brand ninja. I love that.
To be fair, actually the thumbnail pulls like straight from that scene with
Oh
her and
yeah,
the spikes together.
I do just did did Yaoyorozu clear up the spikes when she cut Todoroki down, or did he just happen to fall properly?
I think he just happened to fall properly,
Yeah,
if I'm remembering correctly.
yeah. This fight. All right, I'm trying to remember. All right, so the fight starts, and then they both have the good right idea of using their quirks. I really love the scene where they where Yaoyorozu points out that she's been recognizing that Aizawa's quirk has been lessening, and as soon as I love this slow mo shot of you see Aizawa slowly start to blink, and in that fraction of a second, Todoroki just shoots out that ice wall. That was a really cool scene.
Oh yeah, no, like honestly, it's like just really good because like I don't know, and maybe it's just because also like the mental games that you need to play with like a quirk like Aizawa's is
Yeah,
just leads naturally to a very interesting fight.
yeah,
But
and I really think it's in character for Aizawa to let them win. That makes sense.
yeah, he is kind of a lazy character at
Well,
the end of
it's
the
not
day.
even lazy. It's just him being a good teacher. Like
That that too.
Yaoyorozu
Like
needed
if
this
he,
win, and
well,
he
and
was
also
fine
like
giving it to her.
yeah, no, like he can like I think he recognizes at least when like the students are learning what they need to learn.
Yeah, because
I
he makes a
think.
comment earlier in the fight. It's like, I really want to help Yaoyorozu, but I also need to be a teacher first.
Hmm.
And now is not the time. But then he goes back on that statement in a moment where it needs it most because Yaoyorozu misses the lever. I really
Yeah,
liked
no,
that.
like
That was really sweet. And it proves that
and
he is just a softie on the inside.
yeah, no, for sure. Like I don't like I don't know. He's just definitely a well beloved character for a reason.
Yeah,
Let me just put it that way.
there's a reason everyone calls him Dad Zawa. It makes sense.
Really, people call him that? I've never heard that, but
Oh yeah,
I do know that he's very well beloved.
it's a
I do
running
know
joke
that
that
at
he's the
least.
dad of the Class 1A when they move into the nothing. Nothing happens. They don't move anywhere. I'm trying. Look, I'm trying.
It's fine. I don't think that's. I mean, it's about half a season from now, but what? It's fine.
It is what it is.
It's a minor thing.
Look, I knew they were in them. Whatever. We'll get to it in the spoiler section if I remember to cover it.
Yeah.
All right. So fight ends and they win.
We learn who wins and loses.
Yes.
But yeah. Also, that the I think we forgot to bring this up, but like their their summer like their
Oh
summer
yeah,
field trip
the
thing
summer
was
camp.
on this.
Yeah.
Though Aizawa lets them all go, it's just those who failed have to do
Extra classes.
recreation. Yeah,
I love how
extra
I love
classes.
Ida's response to this is like you. This is the second time you've lied to us. Aren't you worried that none of us are ever going to trust you after this? Also, there is a scene that I really find hilarious where they're all standing and talking. I think it's when we're discussing the class rankings, and
Mhm.
Aizawa opens the door and says, "When the bell rings, you should be in the seat." And then in the next shot, they're just all immediately in their seats already. Like I get the idea is supposed to be like they walk to the seats, but I love the way I see it. It's a joke that they just are as soon as that door opens, they're all immediately just teleport into their seats.
No, I mean that would be like one of those like one of those type gags that you'd see. Like I definitely think it's more meant to be like the idea, you know.
Yeah, I just thought I thought that was pretty funny. All right, trying to think if there's anything else that stood out to me. No, I don't.
You have like the one
Actually,
last
there is
scene
one
at
more.
the end, but
There's actually one whole episode we still have to cover. Um, so then we get they all say they're gonna go to the mall together,
yeah, I was about to say we have the mall
and
trip
then
to go over still.
we jump to the League of Villains where Girin, the information broker, brings Dabi and Toga to the bar. Uh, Shigaraki immediately does not like them because Stain, and he hates Stain.
Mhm.
And so he tries to kill them. They try to kill him. Kuragiri stops it, and Shigaraki just walks away. And Girin says something that makes a whole lot of sense, and I don't get why people say more. Shigaraki is too young for this. He's just a child,
Yeah,
and yeah,
it very much is like a thing that not only are the heroes growing, but the villains also need to grow.
yeah, it makes sense. And then I love how Shigaraki just happens to go to the same mall that Class 1A is going to.
Yeah, definitely by coincidence.
Yeah, so coincidental. Um, Plot conveniences. What? Sorry, I didn't say anything. Anyways, so once 1A gets to the mall, they all split off to go get what they need, and it's left with Uraraka and Deku, and then Uraraka just runs off because she gets flustered,
Mm-hmm.
and then a weird,
Leaves Deku all alone with some weird man in a hoodie.
yeah, who I don't understand why it takes Midoriya so long to recognize Shigaraki's voice.
I mean, to be fair, I think he only heard it once,
I think
so
he heard it a couple times in that fight. Also,
in USJ, no,
yeah,
he was only there like at the end.
yeah, but remember Shigaraki was right next to him and tried to kill Sue, and then Midoriya tried to kill Shigaraki.
Yeah, but that was like only at the end.
Well, no, I was actually
Once,
in the middle of the fight. That was before All Might got there. And then there was a whole All Might fight that he was kind of just standing around for.
really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was right after they got off the boat. They make their way over.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I know. I just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I think they really only barely talk in the manga.
yeah, because, like, from what I remember, it's All Might shows up, like, right after this. I think, uh, yeah, Shigaraki tries to dust Sue, erase her head. Midoriya tries to punch Shigaraki. The Nomu jumps in the way, and Aizawa erases Shigaraki's quirk. And then I think that is the point when All Might shows up when the Nomu is about to punch Midoriya back. because I don't remember why how Midoriya gets out of this because in all rights Midoriya should be toast at that point. Like that's a game over scenario.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's I don't know. I I could see it possibly forgetting, but that's a very important moment where you almost just witnessed a friend die. You think you'd remember the voice of the guy who tried doing it. I don't know. But also, I don't know how long it's been. It's the end of the first term. It's been a couple months.
Yeah, I'm like, it's been since
It,
I
it,
imagine like around like April, and it's like at this point like around August.
no, is it? Because
Yeah,
I thought, well, aren't they? When is their summer break?
all of August.
Oh, they only get 1 month. That's oh
Hmm.
yeah. I guess they have 3 semesters a year. That's right.
Yep.
That sucks. Anyways,
Well, they get like a lot more holidays
that is
throughout.
true. But yeah. So I guess it has been a while. That's fair. He
Hmm.
has more important things to be worrying about.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give it to him. I will give it to him, and that he remembered it fast enough, but it was already too late at that point.
Yeah.
Also, props on Midoriya for not freaking out. If I had a known villain who could dust me with 5 fingers, having 4 fingers around my throat, I'd I'd probably pee my pants. I'm gonna be honest. I'm man enough to admit that I would freak out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Honestly, like just being able to think logically in that situation is quite tough. I
Yeah,
don't even think I'd quite be able to do it. Like, as much as
he
I'd like to say I could,
you
but I'm
gotta
like,
have a
no.
really level head to not freak out in that type of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do.
And uh, yeah, so they fight, and then Midoriya kind of explains why Stain is so popular and Shigaraki's not, which really gives Shigaraki some horrible advice. Thank you for that, Midoriya.
Well, I think, well, I don't know. I think the advice Deku gives is fine. It's more of
How
the
Shigaraki
way,
takes it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, and so yeah, after Shigaraki leaves on his own, Uraraka calls the police. Midoriya gives a statement, and then we get uh, Inko comes and picks Midoriya up. I still don't know how I feel about Inko. Like, first, on one hand, she's probably the most rational person in the show, like out of everyone. And they played off as a joke. Like any sane parent would never let their student go to UA,
Hmm.
especially after all of this. But I also don't like how they handle it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, it'd be nice if they could spend more time on it, but,
I
like,
wish they just wouldn't treat
it's
it as
not
a
really.
joke. They treat Inko being an honestly pretty good parent, a rational parent, as like oh she cries a lot and she's just overreacting to everything.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It's like, I feel like if this were, in, like, a different, like, if it was published in a different magazine, I think it would definitely would give a more sensible reaction
Yeah,
than the one that we get.
yeah, and yeah, Inko's right. There has been too much that has gone on, but yeah, Midori is in too deep. He would never leave willingly. Not at this point.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no going back for Midoriya.
Mhm.
All right.
Movie next, or
Yeah, we can do the movie next. Actually, we should probably do the tie-in episode because I didn't watch that, so I don't remember much about it.
I honestly like just I just don't really care for the tie-in episode. It doesn't do much for
It
me,
really doesn't.
honestly.
I mean, I can spark notes it from what I remember. All right, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's
if you want to.
it's summer. They're are they on summer break or I think it's a weekend. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Well, it's like right, basically what is it's supposed to take place like right before summer break, like within like I think there's like a week that they have that they aren't at that training camp.
Although
Basically,
the
it's like,
training camp's only a week long.
what is it?
Yeah,
Then basically it's in any time before that training camp.
yeah. All right. So yeah, they're called into class. They're called into school for a special training assignment. Um, let's see if I remember the group. It is Midoriya, Uraraka, Bakugo, Todoroki, and possibly Ida. Let me look at the cover photo for the episode. Season 3. Yep. Midoriya. Oh, it's Midoriya, Sue, uh, Todoroki, Ida, Uraka, and I know Bakugo was there for that.
Yeah.
So we
I
got
mean,
all
because
of.
you cannot not have Bakugo.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much this is the Midoriya friend group right here.
Plus Bakugo.
I mean, depending on where you're at in the show.
I
Anyways,
mean, he's definitely. I don't think they're definitely considered among friends at this
yeah, well,
point.
everyone likes to joke that Todoroki and Bakugo are best friends, and Bakugo still hates Todoroki, but whatever.
I mean, that's a bit of a different thing, though.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. So they come into class. Aizawa gives basically the situation is that there's a hostage situation at a jewelry store. They have to stop the hostage and save the day. They do some scouting out. They see that All Might's playing the villain, and the hostages are Present Mike, Cementos, and Midnight. They go in. Once as they're breaking in, they see that as they get into the building, they find that surprise, All Might as a villain is now dead, and now it's turned into a murder investigation. So they start They start murder. They do an investigation. Actually, when they get in, they go to check the body, and Suyu, I think her hair tickles All Might, and he laughs. They play it off as oh,
Yeah.
he's just a bad actor, which, in all fairness, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they're doing their investigation into the teachers as to like they're role playing as like the people who are hostages. So they talk to the hostages. They come to the conclusion that All Might actually killed himself because he was in love with Midnight and didn't want her to have to deal with being a criminal with him. Only to turn around and find out that guess what? All Might actually wasn't dead, and now he's escaped. So they would have
And
gotten full credit, except for the fact that they didn't realize All Might was actually alive, so they actually failed the assignment.
I believe it was just an extra assignment, though,
It
so
was an
it's not
extra
like.
assignment, but
Yeah.
yeah, so close to getting full credit.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, we see that All Might's got an email from Melissa Shield, who's the tie-in to the movie. She's inviting him to I Island for a big expo, and says he gets a +1. He grabs Midoriya, and time for the movie.
And basically, the movie picks up right from there.
Yeah, so our movie, which I don't think we said the name, My Hero Academia 2 Heroes.
Oh,
Which
it's Heroes Rising.
nope, this is 2
Or,
Heroes.
oh, no, you're right. I always mix up the
I
two.
always do it too. Yes, yeah, 2 Heroes is the one with Melissa and Midoriya. Heroes Rising is the one with Midoriya and Bakugo. I really think you should swap those titles because you are right. They are rising through the tower in 2 Heroes, and Midoriya and Bakugo are like the 2 center points of Heroes Rising.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should really swap those names,
To be fair,
or have
the
them
movie's
just
name.
different names.
To be fair, the movie's name doesn't really fit it either, but
World Hero Mission. I mean, technically it does, but like very barely.
yeah, I'm like on a very high technicality.
Technically, we see all of the heroes throughout the world, and technically, they visit multiple countries. It's still stupid. Yes, I know.
Yeah, we'll definitely get back to our thoughts on that when we A rewatch it and B we get to it when it fits
I don't even know
timeline
what
wise.
would like Heroes Rise. I don't even know what I would alternately title these. I haven't seen the second movie yet, so I don't have any information on that.
I
This
think the two heroes moniker fits that one a bit better.
what would you title this one?
I mm, I don't know. Like I think like what you're like saying about like it being swapped honestly kind of fits better.
Yeah, but like I get why it's 2 heroes. It's to show that Melissa is the hero. Melissa is also a hero.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like Heroes Rising
Yeah,
gets across that same sort of idea.
yeah. I still think that my joke that this is just the anime version of oh, what did I
Like
call
I
it?
get, it's like
Oh,
I get that Heroes Rising is because like 1A basically
yeah.
takes on the entire threat alone in that movie,
Yeah.
but
What is it's the movie with John McClane and it's Christmas and the villain's taking over a
Die
tower.
Hard.
Die Hard, thank you. I will stand by my statement that that My Hero Academia 2 Heroes is just Die Hard the movie
To be
in an
fair,
animated format. It is pretty much the same thing.
to be fair, you're not entirely wrong.
No, I'm really not.
But I mean, I do think there is like,
There are differences, sure, but in
yeah,
the end, you have a
I,
villain that takes over a in a huge office building in during a celebration, and then the heroes have to uh sneak their way through the tower to get to the top of the tower to save the day.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just like just trying our hardest not to repeat our mistake from last time by downplaying the movie.
No, it is a fantastic movie, and it is a good movie. I really enjoy it. I don't know how I
Gosh,
would
what?
rank the movies because I haven't seen the second one yet.
Gosh, I just remember when I first saw the All Might and Deku fighting against the
That is
villain of this
still
movie
sick.
together at the end. It is still probably one of the best animated like portions
I will still
of like
stand by
like the
stand
series.
by the fact that the movies of My Hero have some of the best like the only fight scene that I would say that really stands out more. I would think there's two. It's both spoilers. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, yeah. Although I do think two's climactic battle is pretty good as well. I could throw that one up there.
I think that has I haven't seen it, but from what I heard of what it is, it seems like it's just really cool from a story aspect.
Oh no, it's really well animated as
Oh
well.
yeah, I've seen clips of it, like Midoriya turning blue. What? Which also they reuse in World Heroes Mission.
I think that's like where he goes above, like beyond sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's movie original stuff
we'll
though.
have to cover it when we get there.
Yeah,
All right. So the movie starts out with. Let me pull up the Wikipedia page real quick. All right, so the movie starts out with All Might and Midoriya flying into Island. No, actually, that's a lie. The movie starts with the flashback scene of
yeah.
a
I'm
young All
like,
Might in California, fighting villains with a young David Shield, who we met at university, and they team up together, and we learn that David Shield's the one that actually made All Might's suits back in the day.
yeah. Which I believe there's actually like a 15-minute like short animation thing that they also had associated with that as well.
I believe so, but I couldn't count on. It's the one with Nana, right?
I I do not remember if that's included or not.
I know
I
there is
just
a short animated out there of Nana's death. I do not remember where it takes part though.
no, but I mean by like to promote this movie, there was like an
Oh,
actual 15-minute thing that extended that scene that we see in the movie.
oh, I do not know then. I'd have to look. I don't
Pretty
see
sure.
anything. I
I
don't
might
see
be
anything
wrong.
about it on the Wikipedia page though.
Yeah, like I said, I could be mistaken, but
Um, let's see. Oh, the Plus Ultra Limited Edition contains an original video animation of Number Zero, All Might Rising manga, and a newly recorded picture drama of the the barbecue scene shown in the film's ending. Funimation also released the film on Blu-ray and DVD. Da 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 da. Oh, hey, that's cool. It's on Netflix in Netflix India and Netflix Philippines.
huh,
The more you know.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it does. It says it does have something about a number zero. Um, what did it
I
say?
think that might be what I'm thinking of.
Number zero, All Might Rising. Let me Google that and see what it is. All Might Rising. What is it? Oh, yeah, that is exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's the. I think that's the scene of why All Might's in America, because I think it shows him at the USJ, or not the USJ. It shows him at UA, him at the sports festival, uh, and then Nana's death, and then him getting pulled away as Nana gives him the thumbs up, or he points at him as jet the old jetpack guy whose name I'm forgetting, um, not jetpack, the jet feet guy, whatever, blasts him away. Uh, Here, let me pull up the wiki's version of it. Oh, it was Gran Torino. That was his name.
Oh, he bounces.
Yeah, but he's got jets in his feet. That's like actually how his quirk works. He has like little holes that puffs of air come out of, and they call it jets.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just it what help. It's what helps him bounce.
Yeah. Oh,
I think literally the quirk is called bounce.
uh, I actually think you're wrong on that one. Abilities. His quirk is actually called jet.
Oh, jet.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think it starts with Nana's death, and then we learn Toshinori goes to UA, and then Gran Torino teaches him there, and then says that Toshinori has to leave uh, Japan because All for One's still looking for him, and then um, so Toshinori graduates from UA and then flies to America, and then as he's leaving, he puts his hair in his iconic hairdo and dons his master's signature smile. After taking off, Toshinori promises to return to Japan and save everyone with all his might.
Oh, I wonder where his name comes from.
Yeah. Oh, that actually makes sense. I didn't even realize what I said.
That definitely was on purpose.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gran Torino's the one that tells him to leave Japan so he can gain his strength and save his power and come back when he's stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder how much time All Might spent outside of Japan. Because like, is All Might's first return to Japan in the start of the season? Because that's what or the start of the show. Because that's what it sounds like. But like, how is he the number one hero of Japan if he's been outside of the country this whole time?
No, no, it's definitely before that.
He just travels around a lot.
I have to imagine.
Or maybe he was saying it was his first time back in Mustafu in forever. Maybe he's been in
Is
like
that?
Tokyo this whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, back to the movie. So, actually, you should probably look it up on the My Hero wiki. That's probably easier. That'll probably be a little more in
Probably.
depth. I was looking it up on Wikipedia. All right, Casino in
Yeah.
California. All right, so yeah, we meet All Might and David Shield, and then oh, are you kidding me? So the car they're using is called the Allmobile.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Good job, Horikoshi, even though I don't think he wrote this.
No, no, no. He definitely has a hand in
Oh yeah,
like
but
all
yeah.
these
I
movies.
mean, he's listed as supervisor, but the script writer is Yusoku Kuroda.
But yeah, I mean, they probably just basically, from my understanding, because Oda and Akira Toriyama do the same thing with their movies, is that supervising basically means that the characters are made sure to sound like the characters, basically.
Hmm.
They'll basically go over the script and whatnot, and also any sort of world building things they have to check off on as well.
That
So
makes sense.
yeah.
All right, so we see um, All Might uses a California Smash to defeat the villains, and then yada yada yada. Cool. Then we go to Act One, the Incredible Island. So we see them land in an island. I could really use your help with this because I am failing, trying to synopsize this.
Like what? Island, and it's like
Yeah,
because
so
that's like
they
where
get
Deku
yeah.
starts running. Like where when touring with Melissa, he runs into basically all the other students at that point.
Yes. You know what does not make sense to me?
But
Why did All Might never tell David about One for All? Because it seems like he
um,
kind of did, but never really explained it. Like he knows, like David knows the quirk is failing, but doesn't know why.
I think just because it's like one of those things where it's like even if you were to explain it, it's like okay, but what?
And it's just the reason I say that is because he told his the detective best friend, but not the guy that's making his stuff. You'd think he would tell him so they could figure out stuff that works better for him.
Well, yeah, but it's like I don't know how exactly do you explain that your power is basically detaching from your soul.
How do you explain it to your detective best friend?
I don't think he had to go into full detail about it like that with him, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he does know that. I mean, the detective knows that Midoriya has his quirk.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but like,
Yeah,
did
but
he have to
you would at
explain
least
like?
you would at least think All Might would tell David that his power is failing and that One for All
Well, he probably
exists.
told the detective the same thing that like his power
Yeah,
is
it's just
fading,
it seems
but
like
like,
it's from what I understood of the movie, he didn't tell David about One for All at all. Or
oh
if he
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he didn't tell I don't know, it's weird.
I don't know. It's like one of those like things where it's like I don't know. It makes sense that he at least explained enough of it, but maybe not all of it. I don't know. Like even when seeing like he's
Oh, you
losing
know
it,
what?
it's like
David I think David does know. Yeah, David does know cuz All Might does revert back to his weak form.
hmm,
But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like
You would think
technically probably best not to think too hard about it, but
yeah, you would think. And then I'm like, why didn't David tell, or why doesn't All Might tell Melissa? Because that would make being around David so much easier. Or he doesn't even tell her
hmm,
about like One for All is like the aspects of One for All. Just say, hey, my quirk is failing and I can't maintain this form much for long.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all you have to say. I would think at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So they go. So David. So they meet. So we
Okay,
meet
hold on.
David.
I need to talk about this.
Yes.
And this is just my gripe with the I think like the My Hero movies in general is that they always feel like they need to forcefully put all of 1A into the movie.
Thank you. They one he has no reason to be here.
Well, I think like some characters are fine, like like the fan favorites and whatnot. But do we
Yeah.
need every single character here?
Like, did Mineta have to be here? I
I mean,
mean,
he actually played a pivotal role. I'm
he
talking about
did.
the ones that literally just sit
Oh,
in a
oh,
hotel
yeah,
room
yeah, yeah.
and
Those
comment.
ones. No, they. I think the reason they're there is so Uraraka could get here because I think Uraraka went with them.
But yeah, no, but like
They
you
were the
could
driving
literally
force
get
for
just.
Uraraka coming to the thing. Yeah, but like, who else would she have gone with? Like,
Well, I think it said like that she was like I think it was said that she was planning it with all the females. The guys overheard it, and that's why they came. But it's like you could have maybe kept it a bit more secretive and had it only be like a select few
yeah, but I think the only ones who didn't show
instead.
up were Hagakure and did Jiro show up?
No, they're both. I think
Jiro
Jiro's
actually does
pivotal.
something. Does Momo's
But
pivotal? I think, right?
yeah, no, like it's the
The only one
team
that I
if
can
I'm
think of that
remembering
doesn't
it
show up
correctly.
is Hagakure, because Denki's there, Kirishima's there, Bakugo's there.
No, no, she Hagakure's there. She's in one of the hotel scenes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I meant like there, as in the tower when it all goes down.
Oh well, in the tower. That's because like they explained that pretty well. I'm just like, I mean, by all the ones like in the hotel, like
Yeah,
they
I
did
mean
not need to be there.
I mean the main group that's in the tower. The only one I can think of that wasn't in this main group in the tower was Hagakure. Who else was there?
um, a lot of like the more minor ones like Sato and Koda and
Oh yeah, there. Wow,
Kojiro
I don't remember half of them being here.
and
I thought
Tokoyami.
Yeah, I mean,
which is really funny because Tokiyami actually gets bigger parts. I think as these movies go on.
Tokoyami and Shoji are here. They don't do anything. Sero and Sato are there. That I don't remember them being there. Mina, Suyu, and Torugo. Yeah, that also kind of tracks. Those were the three that I was thinking of. I couldn't remember if all the girls went. I forgot Tokoyami and Shoji and Sero and uh, Satoru
You
were
know,
there.
literally all of them are there. It's just
Yeah, they should not
like
have been
half
there.
of
You're
them
absolutely right.
nothing. Like even in the
I
second
wonder if they
movie,
were contractually obligated to be there, or like not even, or maybe
um,
not there, but like obligated to put them in the movie.
I don't know whose decision it was, whether it was like the writers or if it was Horikoshi's wanting to do it. But I'm just like the cast is pretty big. So for movies, you kind of want to be have it be smaller because like smaller makes it more personal kind of
Yeah,
movies and whatnot. It's why I think like unless you can write like your story really well around a lot of characters, don't include them.
that is entirely fair. Also,
Or only include them as can't like as
yeah,
like very brief cameos, not like with speaking lines or they're just like there. You don't need to
yeah,
focus on them. Like one film that I can think of that does this really well in recent memories is One Piece Stampede. It literally has every single One Piece character, but you don't linger on all of them. You
yeah. I
can
mean,
literally just see them in the background. It's literally just Easter eggs.
I think Heroes Rising actually, not Heroes Rising. World Heroes Mission did it pretty well because, like, yeah, the other ones are in the movie. You see them for a minute combined. You get like a quick
Yeah,
flash image of them around the world,
yeah.
and
I
that's
think probably
it.
yeah. No, I'm like I think the third movie does it best. The second movie gets it a bit better, but still like about more than half the cast feels unnecessary to be there. They're like
Yeah,
good
but
at
that's the point.
1A fighting on their own, but it's
Yeah,
like
which I don't know much about the movie, but the fact that one they had to deal with that on their own is concerning. All right, let's get back to the movie.
yeah.
So Midoriya and Melissa leave. They go through the expo. Then they run into a bunch of their friends. I think we can. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about this. Like, yeah, they meet their friends. Then we see Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki, and everyone else do like a training
Yeah, no,
thing.
that's why I'm like that. That's why I just generally like they meet up with everyone from Class 1A
Yeah,
because
I'm just trying to cover it because I'm trying to fix what we did last time and not cover things.
no, I know it's just you don't need to really go in depth on that part.
No.
There's more action later in the movie. I think that can be covered better.
Yeah. All right. Then we get da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Baku is mad because he loses. What's new? Um,
I think we can just go to the banquet from here.
yeah. Well, actually, there's a little more. Um, we get we see that there's some shady people on the island.
hmm
They're doing stuff. All right, then we get Toshinori and David are checking out his quirk. They see that All Might's quirk levels have dropped drastically. Toshinori doesn't give a response. I don't get why. David's worried. David's worried that Japan's crime rate will start rising rapidly once the symbol of peace falls. David must be a soothsayer. I don't know. All right, we get our back with the group. They go to get dressed. Um, Melissa and Midori go back to her lab. Um, and
Oh
then
yeah, because because Deku's gotten that arm gauntlet by
yep.
this point, right?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what they're going to go get.
Okay.
So once all right, so then we go back to the group of the mass villains. They get some weapons and They get some weapons and equipment, and then they move out with the team. Back at Melissa's lab, Melissa gives him the full gauntlet and reveals that she's quirkless, and that's why she can't be a hero. Um, Midori is kind of surprised that Melissa doesn't have a quirk, and uh, she says she's fine being quirkless, but because she can still be a hero that supports others like her father. Um, Those gauntlets are amazing, and I don't like that we. That's my issue with the movies is we do such world building that never gets touched upon again.
But yeah, it's because this movie sadly falls into the realm of it's sort of canon.
Yeah, because like this full gauntlet, honestly, should have been should have at least when Midoriya gets his gauntlets later on, at least mention that hey, they were inspired by this one, or Melissa made them, or Melissa sent the tech over to Hatsume who made it. Just come on, you have such world building you can use, and you never use it.
Yeah, because as this, let me see, when this movie was coming out, I think yeah, we were only in the like hero's license exam, so yeah, there was more than enough time.
Yeah, I mean, where was it in the manga?
What do you mean?
Like, where was the manga at when this movie came out?
That's what I was saying at the hero's license exam, like
Oh,
middle of it.
wait, but that's when it came out in real life. That's when the movie was released, or at least the tie-in episode. How close was the anime and the manga at that point?
What? Oh wait, maybe it was further than that. Maybe it was more of because I wasn't there weekly for the overhaul arc. I caught up during the license exam and then dropped off for a bit. It might have been early school festival, if anything, potentially.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway. Alright, back to Two Heroes. Nope. Yeah, back to Two Heroes on this tab. Alright, so we get the full gauntlet, which is explained that Midoriya can use 100% of his power for 3 punches. That's pretty cool. Alright, so Midoriya meets up with the group, and then Melissa shows up. We go back to the party where All Might's making a speech, and suddenly it's interrupted when the security system goes off, setting the whole island under lockdown. We see all of the non-important 1A members at this point get stuck where they are, and then we meet Wolfram,
And
the villain.
and they won't matter. Not the villains, but and
Yeah.
those students won't matter for the rest of the movie.
Yep. All right. We see Wolfram barges into the party with guns and threatens to kill everyone if they don't act good. All right. So they get held hostage, which is really funny. That you have the #1 heroes from around the world being held hostage. All right. So All Might's taken down, and then we slowly start to see All Might's running out of time, which feels like the biggest recurring thing in the show is All Might's out of time.
Yeah.
All right. Da, 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 da. Oh, Midoriya goes to the party. In the Hoffer situation, Wolfram promises to release everyone in time. He silences a mouthy hero and receives orders to take in a researcher. He attempts to take in Samuel Abraham, but David. I forgot to mention Samuel. Samuel is David's assistant. Um, he's not really important yet, but he will be. I need a drink. Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, no, just David basically insists to go instead.
Yes,
Is what it boils down to.
and both of them are taken. Kind of weird, but whatever. Both of them are taken in as All Might watches in bondage. All Might notices Izuku's flashing his phone light from the 3rd floor, and Jiro uses her quirk to listen to All Might as he explains the situation. Ida suggests that the student escape since they can't legally fight villains. Hypocrite. Melissa reveals that the Island security is on par with Tartarus's, which is the main prison of it. Which really they say that? I would remember them saying that.
Remember saying what?
That Island security is on par with Tartarus, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
super max
Yeah,
prison.
they mentioned that.
Wow. Have we gotten a Tartarus name drop before this?
Um, I think this is the first time in the anime,
Yeah.
essentially.
Because, like, Tartarus isn't really important until the next arc.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of these movies, like, kind of from. Oh no, the third movie is fine, but it's the second movie that
Oh,
actually
no,
has
actually,
spoilers.
it is mentioned already.
Oh, it is.
Even if it wasn't directly stated, that's where Stain was sent.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes. Anyways, back to where I was going. So they go. So they agree to go to the top of the tower to turn off the security system. All right. Yeah. If you could help me fill in while I'm reading, looking for the important stuff. Vamp, even.
Yeah, I don't know, cause it's like, well, the towers like, well, I really like what they do with the tower stuff and the whole climbing thing, and like each character gets their own time to shine and whatnot. I don't know. There's just not a lot going on with them on their side for climbing up the tower.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's till we get kind of up there with like that control room where Melissa meets like her father a bit later on that like things kind of get interesting because really the plot like in that in between point is just get to the control room to save everyone.
Yeah. All right. So they get to the 50th floor when they're stopped. Mineta, being an idiot, um, Mineta, being an idiot, opens a door that alerts the villains to where they are, and then the villains start going after them. At this point, we run into Bakugo and uh, uh, Kirishima. Forgot his name for a second.
Like,
Who haven't been a part of this group so far because Bakugo did not bring dress clothes and didn't want to join the party, and Kirishima brought him extra clothes. And then they got
yes.
lost and could not figure out what was going on, and so just randomly walk into some villains who go after Bakugo. Bakugo whoops the floor with them because it's Bakugo. Let's be honest.
Uh-huh.
Um, kind of regretting not watching this more. All right, group jumpsuit. All right. Then I think we get to the point where we have the wave of villains that Mineta uses his quirk to stop, which
Mm-hmm.
works until it stops working, and then they have to escape again. All right. So they get past the 100th floor. They reach the 130th floor and are greeted by dozen security. Oh wait, that this is the Mineta part. All right. Um, students make it. So they make it to the server. So the server room on the 30th floor. Tenya takes out the bots with the reciprocal burst, while Momo creates a cannon and fires adhesive material. Now as we've been going, we're slowly losing the group. Now we're just Midoriya, Uraraka, and Melissa.
Yes.
All right. So now we're outside the tower in turbines, and um, so they Uraraka uses her quirk to make Midoriya and Melissa weightless as they start floating up. Bots start to swarm them, and then Todoroki and Bakugo show up, and Todoroki uses his heat to make one of the fans work super fast and blow them to the top of the tower. Um, and then Midoriya uses a full power Detroit Smash to throw them into the tower, and now we're at the top of the tower. Cool. All right, so now we're at the top of the tower.
Do we
That
cover the David Shield stuff or
we're getting there.
okay.
So David Shield is also at the top of the tower. So Izuku and Melissa recover from the fall. And then the guy who can turn his hands into swords, who's named Swordkill. What an on the spot name, on the nose name. Swordkill tries to kill them. Um, Parries the full counter. Melissa
To be
knocks.
fair, if you've been creating names for that long, you sometimes just have to have names like that. I
Yeah,
mean,
but you have names like Wolfram and then Swordkill. Come on, one of those is much cooler than the other. I think.
okay, I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
does it change that
They,
Dragon Ball has characters literally based off of foods?
but
Or,
that's
I
always
don't
been a
know.
thing. That's been a thing since the beginning.
No, I know, but I'm just like, to be fair, like Dragon Ball and like other big shonens, like Dragon Ball and One Piece have like naming schemes off of a lot of basic things. I mean, there's a character in One Piece called King Hamburger.
That is
You can take
hilarious.
a guess. You can take a guess on what stereotype that's meant to be.
American. All right,
No, you fool! It's obviously Mexican.
obviously.
I'm joking.
All
I'm
right,
joking. There is actually a King Taco though.
that is hilarious. All right, so as they're making their way to more of to the top of the tower, there's this really cool stairway scene that I actually did remember, where they're shooting at kids and Midoriya bounces off the walls in like a spiral pattern to kick one of them in the
Oh,
face.
oh yeah, no, that was actually like probably
That
like one of
is
the
a really cool scene.
yeah, no, it's like one of the more like I'd say better animated like minor sections.
Yeah. All right, and then they find David's shield inside of a vault. David is unlocking a special block and sends Sam to retrieve the item. David swears to never let this device into the wrong hands, and Sam replies that everything is going according to plan. Melissa overhears the men talking about working with the villains. Melissa confronts them, and David reveals that he created a device called the Quirk Amplification Device, but it was taken away and locked up by their sponsors. Yeah, because that's ridiculously scary if it gets into the wrong hands. Oh, wait, guess what happens?
And it's not like he was just randomly sent by all one or so all for one or something.
Oh, he was. It's annoying and confusing. But, anyways,
Oh, oh no, no, I know that was the point
yeah.
I
Uh,
was trying to,
yeah.
because that's literally how the plot reveals it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
it was Sam's idea to
okay,
hire the fake villains to steal the research back, but then it gets out of hand. What were you saying?
oh, I was just basically saying because like it's just out of nowhere that they're supported by all for one, the
Yeah.
villains.
Yeah, it seems like yeah, I mean I get he's like the Palpatine of this series, but like not everything has to be about All for One.
I'm like, I get it's kind of to like
I'm glad
make it
that the
more
third movie
tense,
finally steps
but
away from that trend.
yeah, I think what the second one did wasn't bad either.
I haven't
Just
seen it, I don't know.
yeah, that's fair enough.
Alright, so Melissa's pissed because yeah, they've been risking their lives to save everyone. And then shows a scar from Swordskill's attack. David's confused because these were supposed to be fake villains, and Wolfram makes his dramatic entrance and reveals that that the only act was the villains pretending to be fake. Midoriya tries to attack him, but Wolfram restrains him using his metal manipulation quirk. Sam then betrays David and brings the device to Wolfram. He claims that David turned his back on him when they never got paid for working on so hard. Wolfram shoots Sam in the arm and acts like they never had an agreement. He shoots again, but David jumps in front of the bullet. Let's just backstab after backstab. Everyone's turning on everyone. All right, Wolfram
Yeah,
steps on
yeah, this,
David's.
this back half does kind of just become backstab the movie.
It really does. All right, Wolfram steps on David's injured body and tells him to stop playing hero. He reminds David that his crime is real and that won't disappear with one good act. Wolfram claims David can't go on being a scientist anymore and knocks him out. He plans on using David to mass produce the quirk amplification device. Melissa pleads with the villain to return her father. Wolfram ignores her and tries to kill her. Midoriya breaks free from his bonds and attacks, only to be blocked by Wolfram again. Midoriya tells Melissa that he'll save David, but she needs to be the one to save everyone else. Melissa flees, and a guy with a hacker quirk tries to follow. Izuku refuses to allow anyone to pass, forcing him to come to blows with Wolfram. Together, Melissa and Midoriya manage to save everyone by disabling the security system. All of the drones return to normal mode,
Hi, motorcycle.
and Island
Always have
is
to do that.
set free from the grasp of the villains. Wolfram tries to escape on a helicopter, and Midoriya pursues him. Melissa calls All Might to update him on the stakes. He promises to rescue them. This is actually the best part of the movie. I think it's just so well animated. Though the one thing I will say is, what is with this show's fascination with square blocks of like cement or like rock?
I don't know.
Like what All for One does it? I mean, not All for Overhaul does it. It's in this movie. Like they just love squares.
I don't know. It might just be Horikoshi's thing. It's like
It might
I
just
don't
also
know.
be
Like
easier to animate to do squares moving than other shapes.
yeah, potentially. Um, I don't know. I mean, because like every manga author has like their thing, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I mean, Bleach has tearing off arms.
Yeah,
As one of their recurring things.
that is grody. Alright, Midoriya catches up to the helicopter and then manages to evade most of Wolfram's attack as he shouts it's a hero's duty to rescue those in need. Wolfram turns his gun to David, forcing Midoriya to stop, and then slams him with the metal pillar. He barrages Midoriya with similar attacks and gets on the helicopter with David aboard. Midoriya refuses to let the professor go and tied into the air. He grabs onto the helicopter and tells the professor that Melissa is waiting for him. Wolfram tries to shoot Midoriya, but the bullet is sent off course by a swift tackle from David. Midoriya crashes into the helipad below and limits letting the villain escape. All Might's voice reaches through the sky and reminds Deku to smile in situations like these. Hero of Peace leaps high above the helicopter. Gives his everything okay because I am here. All right. All Might soars through the helicopter, rescuing David and sending the villains to their yeah, he kills them. He actually straight up tries to murder those villains. Like, he knocks the helicopter out of the sky and then just lets the villains fall to their death. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we knew All Might had it in him to be a killer, but like, ugh. Yikes. That is an abuse of power. Alright, David tries to apologize to All Might, but Wolfram abruptly appears from the smoldering remains. He attacks them both with a metal pillar and traps David in a metal casing. Wolfram is using David's quirk amplification device to boost his quirk, and then he transforms the tower's roof into quote a scrap metal hell. That is an interesting way of describing that. I wouldn't disagree with it actually. All right.
Sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry. I just need to text
Yeah, you're good.
someone real quick.
I was saying, I was reading from the wiki. It was like, and it says, as I quote, Wolfram uses his enhanced powers to transform the tower's roof into a scrap metal hell. You know, that's not a bad way of describing that.
Yeah, that's not an inaccurate statement.
Yeah. So then the other heroes start joining the fray, and motivated by his students, All Might goes beyond his limits. I feel like he does that every time. He always is going beyond his limits. All right, and then Midoriya and All Might team up for a final. Actually, no. Wolfram reveals that he's working for All for One, and actually has a second quirk, which I still don't get how that works. Because like it
Well,
feels
I
like
mean,
it's a 50-50 on whether the quirk will take or not.
it's not unheard of
It's not. No, it's definitely
based
not
off of
unheard of.
spoiler things.
Yeah, based off spoilers, it's possible. It's just it feels weird that it worked here.
Well, there's one good example I can think of.
Oh yeah, I can think of one too, but that's a huge spoiler. I mean, not a
Yeah.
huge
Oh no,
spoiler,
no,
but
I know.
it's a decent spoiler.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna mention anything
Yeah.
further for it
All
because
right.
it is a spoiler. But
All right. So then, it's revealed that All for One contacted him offering his help. All for One gave Wolfram this power and information on All Might because he wanted to help twist All Might's best friend into the darkness. Uh, yeah, All for One's behind this. What a surprise! He's behind literally everything in the show these days. All right. Um. So, uh, we get the coolest. What is this? The what did they call this super move? The
oh, what is it?
double
I
Detroit
forget.
Smash.
Yeah, the double Detroit
Yes, they
Smash.
do their double Detroit Smash.
It
As
is animated so
oh,
well.
it's yeah. I'm looking at a GIF of it right now. It does look really nice.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll send the GIF over.
Oh no, I've seen it. Trust me. I've seen it. Like whenever I wanted to, like, I think originally I wanted to try and pull that for part of the thumbnail, but there's just no good like solid frame
Yeah,
of
that's
it.
fair. Yeah, I do really like their use of whenever Midoriya is using 100%, they'll do the star connecting down the path, and then it ends in Midoriya's fist pulling back. I always love that. That is always like
Oh
the
yeah.
coolest thing for me.
Yeah, no, the honestly the Star Trail thing is like probably the best thing like the anime decided to create.
Yeah, that was a good call on them. So they defeat
Like
the
it, like
villains.
it's in the manga, but the way that they illustrate it in the anime is
Yeah,
just so visually appealing, I should say.
yes. So they defeat David and take back they take back the amplification device. Oh, actually, no, it breaks. That makes sense. So the quirk amplification device and the full gauntlet break. David wakes up and sees that Midoriya and All Might have succeeded. Um, two heroes save the day. So yeah, All Might says that it's actually Melissa and Midoriya that saved the day.
Yeah. Speaking of, And I don't know if we want to save this since like there's I think still just a little bit more of
Okay,
this
let's
movie
finish it
left,
up and
but
then I'll
just
say it if it's a spoiler.
no, it's not a spoiler. I
Uh,
was just like I want to talk about Melissa as a character for a little bit. Is all.
I got like 2 paragraphs left and then we're done.
Okay.
All right. So All Might and David explain what happened. David admits that he was so afraid that the symbol of peace would fade away and lead to the end of peace. And he realizes he was just hanging on to the past, and now knows that Melissa and Midoriya will protect the future and ensure the peace. Um, yeah. That's the end. Sometime later, Melissa visits her father in the hospital. As they speak, they speak as he recovers from his injury. The rest of Class 1A joins up together to take part of the I Expo proper. By the end of the trip, Izuku and All Might meet up and stare at the city before leaving. And that's the end. Thank you, myheroacademia.fandom.com. I will give my
Yeah.
credits. I did read a lot of that.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, that's mostly what I use for documenting the arcs as well.
That is really, really useful.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, character stuff. I hate that we never see Melissa again. I'm gonna say it. I think Melissa should come back.
Oh yeah, no, she's I think by far the best thing of this movie.
Yes. Absolutely. Without doubt. 100%.
Yeah, no, like honestly, compared to like yeah, I really I'm gonna say this now, and I'll say it again when we get to it. I really, really, really dislike the original characters from movie two.
Oh, the 2 kids?
Oh yeah.
Really? That bad?
No, they're not horrible. It's just if you know old anime movie tropes from like early 2000s, it's always let's add a kid as a MacGuffin to the movie.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll get more to it when we get to two. I have some comments on that one.
Nice. Alright. You got anything
You want
else
to
you want
get
to say?
into? No, I was about to say. I think we're good to go into spoilers for what little we have.
Oh, I don't remember half the spoilers I was gonna say.
There is the one thing with Monoma, at least, that I want
Oh,
to get back
yeah!
around to.
That one! Thank you. So, back to what I was saying about Monoma predicting the future. Now we are in the spoiler section. If you don't
Which
want to
may
be
be,
spoiled, don't be here.
yeah, it
We will
also
be
may
talking
just
about
be
stuff
very
that is
short, but
yeah, it might be, but we are going to be talking about stuff that is covered in the newest season and beyond in the manga. This is your fair
yeah.
warning. All right.
It was
So,
Shredder that was the Stain fanboy, right?
what?
Was his name? Shredder, Spinner? It
Spinner.
was something, or
It was
that's
Spinner.
what it was.
Yeah, Shredder is the villain from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I knew it was something that started with an S and ended with an ER.
Yeah, Spinner. Yes, Spinner is the villain you were referring to. Yeah, Monoma in a scene we see here. I actually quoted it word for word when I was texting him. Monoma says, and Monoma's taunting 1A, and he says something along the lines of, "Someday the rest of us might get caught up in your mess and become unwitting victims. What kind of horrible villains will you bring down on us?" Wow, Monoma actually straight up called season 6 of My Hero and everything that is currently going on.
Yeah. And he didn't even need a future sight quirk to do it.
Yeah, we haven't even met Night Eye yet.
Yeah, man was called in the future before Night Eye.
Yeah, yikes. Um, I thought that was hilarious. I did a double take because I don't know how I missed that the first time I watched there. This I guess the first time we tried recording this episode.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think about that line too much.
Yeah, I was like, yikes, that is sad.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember what else spoiler stuff I had. Oh, we were talking about the fights. I said the 2 fights that I think topped this movie. Oh, it was the one All Might and All for One fight. Which come on, you can't beat
Yeah.
that fight.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like that is definitely the top fight from the series as a whole.
Yeah, yeah, and then you have the Midoriya, Infinity Midoriya versus Overhaul.
Overall, yeah, no,
That is
it's
a cool, like, Overhaul did drop the ball a lot, but like Infinity Midoriya is a cool scene.
oh yeah, no, I'm like it's more of the just that they dropped the ball leading up to it with the Mirio part of it,
Yeah,
but as still frames are not are not animation.
yeah, that is not acceptable in an anime,
Well, it's acceptable if you do it right.
and they did
They did
not.
not do it right.
Ugh.
Like it
Uh,
shouldn't be noticeable that you're only doing still frames.
in the show's defense, I didn't notice it.
I did, but
I
that's
also
because
don't
I
really pay
was
full
really looking
attention when I
forward to
watch it.
that part of it. So
Yeah, in also in your defense, I don't always pay full attention when I'm watching anime. I usually listen to it because I don't have the attention span to fully watch it.
yeah, no, I pretty much anime is the only type of like actual well, not only, but it is a majority of what I watch that's televised content technically.
Huh, fair enough.
You spend enough time, you start to notice things.
This is fair.
I mean, I don't need to send my minutes list.
Yeah,
But yeah, other than that, I think that was about it. Like, I could go more into the two quirks thing, but I'm just like, and we'll get to
yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. What was I gonna? You were referring to? I mean, it's gonna be a while before we get to who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, no, we're probably thinking of the same one. It's from
Gun Lady.
right after the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, after the time skip.
Have we seen any other perfected ones?
I do not know.
All
I
right.
have not. I honestly haven't been keeping up
All right.
with
Well, I think this
with it.
video's gone on long enough.
Oh yeah,
First
no,
video was too short. This video feels too long. Well, they'll just upload this one.
yeah,
We are at
and
hour
uh
47.
yeah. Well, it at least correlates with the what is it with the season 6 starting. So
Yes. Well, with that being in mind, that's all I have to say.
yep. Enjoy season 6, folks.
Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We will continue with My Hero, hopefully, somewhat soon. I think look out for a One Piece video coming soon, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be at like the beginning of November, but
Yep.
yeah.
Other than that, we'll be back next time. Bye bye!
Bye.